Hi, so today we're just going to do a very simple 3D acrylic unicorn. So we're going to use You're Beautiful and Rainy Cloud Glitter Balls Gel Polish. We're just going to do a bit of a vertical ombre, but it doesn't have to be perfect as it is going to be covered. So just down one side with You're Beautiful and down the other side with Rainy Cloud. Cure for 60 seconds and then do a second coat. So again, I've cured in between and done a third coat. So once that's cured, we're going to leave the tacky layer. I'm going to use the new Glitter Bells medium glitter opals. And I'm just going to dab that in with my finger onto the tacky layer. And then I'm going to give that a little dust off. Oops, got some on the finger. And then I'm going to go in with Glitter Bells non-white top coat. And then I shall put that in the lamp for 60 seconds to cure that. I'm just going to use the Glitter Bells buffer and just slightly buff over it because I had decided I wanted the background to be matte. I love the look of a matte glitter, looks really pretty. So now we're going to go in with some Snowdrops White, some Your Mint, some Lemon Drizzle, Pink Martini and Blossom. I'm sorry, I think that was actually Rosy Pink, not Pink Martini. The Glitter Bells 3D brush. So we're just going to start off with some Snowdrops White and we're just keeping it nice and wet and we're just creating the unicorn's head. So keeping it really thin and just patting it out with the belly of your brush into your desired shape. So I just add a little bit more in there just to again get the shape that I'm wanting. Just making the bottom of her head slightly more squarish. Blending up so it all blends in, no lines. So now we're going to do the body. So again, using the belly of your brush just to pat it out into the area you want. Just adding a bit more there where it was a bit opaque. I'm just adding a little bit more to the head there as well because that was obviously a bit opaque because it was nice and thin. Just blending it all in so there's no visible lines or brush strokes. So I'm just adding a little bit of a cheek just to add a bit more shape to the face. So again, just placing it on there, blending it into the face, and then using the belly of my brush just to flatten out the cheeks slightly. So I'm going to go in and with a bead blend it into the head and just create it into a point for the ear. Just using the tip of your brush just to get those edges nice and straight. And then onto the other ear. I think at this point it started to look a little bit like a moomin. Probably just made myself sound quite old there. So now we're doing a foot. So quite teddy bearish type foot. So just putting a bead and then flattening it out there because that will be like the base of the foot. And same again at that side. I think I just had a little bit more in because I didn't have quite enough. Flattening it out. So once I'm happy with that, we're going to go in with the arms. Well, I suppose they're all called legs, aren't they? But start from the shoulder and just dragging it down. Don't worry if you can't do it all in one bead. You know, that's a good thing about working nice and wet. You can add bits in here and there and just blend them in and you won't even notice. So just bringing that right down, blending in, dragging it down again, using the belly of my brush to flatten that into place where I want it. And then just using the tip of my brush just to define those edges again so they aren't lost. So we're going to do the same at the other side, starting off at the shoulder again, dragging it down, trying to keep quite symmetrical to the other side. Again, another bead just to bring it down, blending it up, and then dragging down with your brush. Using the point of your brush to make sure you've got them clean edges still, so we don't all merge into one big blob. Just adding a bit more in there. Obviously, again with working wet, you can add in here and there, just blends in. So don't worry if you don't get it right first time, you can always build up. A little bit on the belly. So now we're going to go in with some rosy pink and just make, oh no, I changed my mind, we went to Blossom. And just going to make a tiny little love heart on the belly. So just using the belly of my brush to flatten it, create a little triangle at the bottom, and then I use the very tip of my brush just to create that little crease at the top. And then a little bit for inside of the ear. So I only do this one side of the ear because you'll see a little bit later the other ear gets covered quite a bit. So now I'm going to go in with rosy pink. And we're just going to create the horn. Unfortunately, my bead was way too wet, so I had to play about with it for a little bit as it started to dry so I could manipulate it into the shape I wanted. So rather than being flat to the nail bed, I wanted it to stand up slightly. So it's just about getting your brush underneath it and physically lifting it up as it dries and it stays into place. So now I'm using the very point of my brush just to create little lines in the horn to obviously create that unicorn horn effect, I guess. So now we are going to go in with some lemon drizzle, I believe. Yep. I'm going to start creating the hair. Again, just nice small beads, not too wet. You want it enough so it stays in place, but wet enough where you can still play with it. So again, just patting with the belly of your brush and dragging it down to the area you want it. Adding a little bit more in there to get a bit more length. So I skipped that bit for you a little bit. So I did some blossom at the front of the hairline, and then I'm just finishing off here with some yarn mint. If I'd have thought about it, I'd have been better off maybe using yellow on the outside of the hair rather than yarn mint, because obviously it blends in quite well with the blue background. But at the time I didn't think of that. So we're just going to do basically the same effect as we did with the hair, but for a little tail off to the side. Some more lemon drizzle. I absolutely love lemon drizzle, it's such a nice colour. And then some blossom. So I used a little bit of grey here just to add a bit of shading. I think it was chinchilla I used here. And then a bit of gloss black. I'm just going to create a little smile. side I don't like that, rub it away. Start again. And we're just going to do 2 closed eyes. Sorry, this is the Glitterbels fan liner brush that I'm using here. It's part of the free pack of brushes. It's definitely a must-have if you like to do freehand painting, etc., because there's no need to trim them or anything. They're absolutely great to work with. So I've cured that for 60 seconds and we're just going to add a couple of little stars in the background. Just some little lens flare type stars. Nice and simple. And then just one at the bottom. And then obviously this gets cured for 60 seconds as well. Don't forget to pop me a like and subscribe to my page. Share some love and hopefully I'll see you again. Thank you for watching.